Hello guys, so you are welcome to this web development made easy class, where I will be walking you through the step-by-step process to becoming a web developer. And in a more practical time, we'll be going online onto our device, our laptop, in order to start coding. But before we get to coding, we want to explain that whenever we say web, you mean a website, which is the combination of web pages. So we have a website, okay, and that is a combination of web pages or web application. So it can be pages, okay, or applications. When we say application, you mean certain functionalities that people can use on the web. So whether you put together pages such as information about yourself, your business, your idea, anything, or application, meaning some set of functions that you put on the web, you refer to this as websites or web applications. Websites, pages, or web app. So you said what? Websites or web application. So these application or pages are kept on a server, and your server is a storage facility. A physical device that's connected to the internet that has 24/7 lights, and it is available for the globe, for the world. So for anybody to access this server or the files or the application stored on this server, you need to have a browser, okay? A browser and an internet connection, internet access. So what are we saying here is that you want to access something on the internet, you need a browser or an application that can connect to the internet and internet access. So as I explained, for you to build your website, you must have your files stored on the server, right? So the question now is, how do you create those files? So how do you create them? You can create these files by using some web application languages or programs such as HTML, okay, CSS, and JavaScript for the front end, and of course there are other for back end. I'm going to explain that later. HTML is hypertext markup language, and that is the content or the framework or the bone of a website. So the content of the website, the text of the website, the images of the website, the video content. So this content is the framework of HTML. The CSS, cascading style sheet, is the design, the look, the feel, okay, of the website. So it means that if you want to write the code that your website is written on, if you want to write it, you need to know how to code your HTML, your CSS, and your JavaScript. You need to do that. You really need to understand, even at the basic level, you should understand how to code your HTML, your CSS, and JavaScript. HTML has to do with the content of the website, the bone, okay, the text of the website, the images of the website. CSS has to do with the design, okay, of your website, and JavaScript has to do with the function of your website. So it is very, very interesting that these are very useful. Without HTML, you cannot, there is no need for your CSS, and of course without these two, there may not be any need for your function. So, but you must study your content before you now go into the design, and before you now go into the function of your web solution, your website. So in this video, I'm going to be walking you through how to write an introductory aspect of your HTML, CSS, perhaps a JavaScript. I just want to give you a foundation. So I want to make it as easy as possible, a foundation, something that you can work along with. So when we say HTML, which means hypertext markup language, there is a structure, there is like a process. Understand this process, you can use it to start coding immediately. So the first thing you want to do for web development and you want to start coding, you need to identify your code editor. You just need to identify what tool are you going to start using to code. If you want to start coding your HTML, your CSS, your JavaScript, any of these programs, you want to understand which tool, which application can I use to start coding. So the least, as in the basic, is Notepad. Just the least, the simplest is Notepad. But of course, Notepad is a default application on every system. Every system. You just go to your system on your laptop, just go to the start menu and type Notepad. Voila, you see your Notepad. Okay? But Notepad is not the best tool or the best code editor. No. In fact, there are better tools that you can use that will make your life simple, because Notepad is the foundation tool that most people would start using, but there is no support, there is no if you are typing, there is no highlighting of text, auto. There are so many things that Notepad will not give you, but it's the foundation too. Okay, but currently in our own tutorial we'll be using Visual Studio. We will be using Visual Studio, and of course Visual Studio VS is a very advanced and robust solution that will help you code easily and support you with some highlighting of text, some autocomplete. There are so many supports that you are going to see, and in fact you can put in some integrations too, and you can build in. You can start coding now and you will be using some extension to start seeing your results. Makes it a bit easier, simple. But that is there are other solutions you can use among the code editor. You can use Notepad++. This Notepad, just add plus, and you can use that. You can also use Sublime Text. You can use Sublime Text. You can use brackets. You can use. There are a lot of code editors out there that you can use. You can even design your own and you start using. There's no crime. But then, what we are going to be using is Visual Studio. Okay, but the basic one is Notepad. So that is the first thing. We need to identify which solution we are going to be using, because that helps us a lot. Now, the next thing is we need to also come up with the framework that we want to use, like a path that you want to use. The first and most important thing is to understand what you want to design. If you want to write an application, you want to have an idea, you want to have a draft, a documentation, something that would say, okay, I want to do this, I want to do that. So that will give you a visual look of and the end result of whatever you want to do. And of course, that is the best step to proceed. But if you want to learn coding, the most important thing, understand that you have to select a code editor. In our own case, Visual Studio. Second, you have to create a folder. Create a folder. Now, why do we need to create a folder? This is a very powerful and important practice. All your projects should be within a single folder. So by the time when you will be migrating or you'll be moving your files from your local laptop, your local device, onto your server, when we talk about server the other time, the online storage facility. So when you will be moving your file, you will just move this folder and everything within it. So you want to make sure that anytime you are creating your web solution, you start with a folder, create a folder.